Ba-ba-bam. Welcome back to Shapez 2. My name is Nilaus, and today we're going to do some train work. At the end of the last episode, we completed the milestone for trains. It just had to run. And as I was saying at the previous episode, let's see, where are the milestones? They are here. The milestone was... so it was a task, and then I'm going to be showing these two were unresolved last time, and I just completed them now between sessions. And yes, some people would like to get all the things in here, but I also think that at this point we want to get to trains, and I want to show you the trains. So then let's focus on that, because what we are getting here, I'm just going to show you the end result, what it actually looks like. It comes from down here. So this is a pretty damn beautiful factory, in my opinion. It basically does exactly the same thing, because the shape that we wanted to get for this one was this one. Basically that one, but that's just cutting this one in diagonals. But that is a white and blue square on top of a blue and white square on top of a half of a blue square. So that is, I'm taking 5 lanes out here, coloring 3 of them blue, cutting them in half, stacking them on top of each other. So we have 8 lanes here of half blue, 8 lanes of half whites, half blues, half whites, half blues. And then it's just stacking them on top of each other. And then with a little bit of rotating here and there, that's where we have that one. And then it just goes all the way through. First, it comes in here and becomes the square. Then the square gets stacked on top. We then have it on here. And then we put another white and blue square on top. And we get all that. Then we get the 8 lanes out, split them into 2 times 4, because each of the 4 will then be cut in half and then sent out here. And that means we get all of this, 2 lanes back again for that milestone. Super amazing. The other one is up here, which is also like quite of a nice little factory here. It just looks so nice, these factories. I'm so happy about them. It also just takes basically the jellyfish, because the shape that we were looking at was this one. So this is the jellyfish. That's the jellyfish when you have the curves up here and the spikes down there. That's a jellyfish. It is just this. So basically we mine the jellyfish, we split them apart. This is what happens here, where we split the jellyfish head and the jellyfish spikes from each other. I color one part and then we merge them back together, so that we now have a jellyfish with a red head. Then we cut it out here, and then we put it back together, rotate it, and then we put it back, stab it back together, and then we have that shape. That shape gets combined with another shape, which is also a little bit complicated. And then we have that one generating points. Again, this distance is awful, and we really need trains for that. Before we go into trains, I want to show you something, because I think that's my little present to you. Not just showing you a blueprint, but actually designing with you as well. So what do we have here? Well, this is a 1x1 block. And I want to show you that in 1x1 block, we can actually do 4 lanes of smelting without using the top floor, because I can just isolate it into separate floors. And I think that's freaking amazing, and I want to share that with you. So these are coming in here. So what I want to do is I want to take from here, and then it goes out on the other side. And then somewhere in between, I want to do this awful paint. And I want to do the whole thing on one level. So how the hell is that going to do? Well, we're going to start by sort of finding out how, what is a really compact way of building it. And it's going to use jumpers. So that's going to be a thing. There and there, right? So the idea is each of the belts have to have this much. Actually, get that here. Each one of these belts have to have these supporting it. That seems like a lot, doesn't it? But let's see what we can do. So if you go from here, I could go there, and I could then go here. So right now is all of these now go in here. So it's just a matter of getting it out again. Just there we go. So this is actually exactly what we need. That doesn't sound so bad, because that means this is actually something we can look at and go, can I fit 4 of those in here? 1, 2. No, I cannot. So something's got to give. What if we are able to get you on the outside instead? Because I still have room on the outside here. And Get you on the outside as well. There. Okay, and let's get this one. Okay, so could I do the same thing here, but rotate it? Copy. What if I build it? What if I build it like this? That takes half of it, half of the space. That's pretty good. That could be definitely be rotated, right? Like that. So the only question is that a problem? Yeah. Is there a problem? I don't think it is, because it can feed through this. It will feed it, and then I can do this. I think it looks, oops. That looks good. So now they're all painted. All I need to do now is get them in here. That's it. This is a full, let's get a destroyer block over here. This is now a full 4 lanes painted in one level. Why is it important that it's one level? Well, because that means now I have 8 lanes colored inside this area. Oh, actually not quite. We have a little bit of a misnomer here. Let's see. Something. I kind of want... Oh, right. This one. Let's actually take this out. This one can actually fit in here, and I think that's better. We'll come into Y. And that one here. Oh. There. Okay. And then I do the same thing on this side. There and there. Right. And I can't do it on the other side because then it'll collide here. So we'll have to make do with this. But what we want is then, if we take the whole design here and then undo there, take it up, then I want to make sure that they sort of merge on this level. And so I just do this. Like, technically it shouldn't be necessary because they're all there, but I want all of it to be like one design. Actually, I wouldn't want to... Well, I'll do this, but when I add a third level, I will then add this from the second to the third level, just so that I have some sort of flow balancing between the levels. But look at that. How about that for a design? Not that we really need it, but that means we can now do painting in a 1x1. I think I'm going to do that from now on. That's pretty damn neat. And it is from me to you. So the blueprint is, of course, added to my blueprint book. But it's also like, here's the screenshot. If you don't, if you're not a patron, you can just take a screenshot and rebuild it yourself, which is also kind of fun. That was a little present, and then we'll go into trains now. So for the trains, I think it's important for us to do some kind of standardized or some easy thing for trains. So this one is just a task, so we don't need that anymore. We can take that out. I'll take the other one out. But this one is actually not just a milestone, but it's also, it's one that generates points for us all the time. So what about we use this sample here as our method of getting things in with a truck or with a train to start with, so we get to learn it. So we have a new tab. Let's start it. We start by having something outbound. Then I'm going to be building a train station here. I'm going to start with a loader. It comes a loader and unloader. It wants us to build rails first. That's kind of a little bit silly. It wants an unloader. I want a loader. So flip it there. So this thing here has 3 levels. And you can see that it fills level 1, level 2, but not level 3 because we haven't unlocked the 3rd level yet. So this is this is how that works. Then I can put a train station, and then we can put tracks outbound. Oh, that's funny how it goes in exactly the same place. Well, that's just gradually going to be disappeared here. But that is the train station. So this one indicates that this is where the locomotive will park, and then the first wagon will here, second, third, fourth, and so on and so forth. But since 1, 8 lanes can easily be supported by a single wagon, which is really good. Like the capacity of trains is good. 360 per part. So we need a locomotive. They come in 4 different colors, as you can see down here. We only have the red ones unlocked. And then how does that work? Well, we're going to build a train here. That just means that it's a locomotive, and I can build it here. Then we're going to be saying what kind of wagons. We only have the shape wagons. We don't have the fluid wagons. And then I built a single train station here. Oh, I don't have enough rail tracks. There you go. Train stop. Now place another train stop, including a train unloader. Yes, okay. That's not going to be now. So now the train comes in. Yes, weird. So it jumps in, and then it gets a containerized transport here. Then it goes and... look at that. It goes underneath. That's so silly. It's so awesome. And then it just waits a little bit. And then it comes in. Funny. Oh, right. There's the problem. Boop. That's the station. That's why it was waiting there. It should not be waiting there. So it'll now go until it gets to the station. Cool. That's why it stopped. So this is kind of the metric. I can't control the train. I can't even click at the train. Oh, I can just use train stop loader. I can click here on this one and then respawn the train from here. But now it just goes back out and then back again. Super amazing. So you don't have to make loops or anything. It takes care of its loops by itself. Awesome. Now, that is that part. Let's get into the fun part. We have a fluid wagon. I want that. And we have a trains roller coaster. This one is exclusive to the supporter edition. We have that one. Thank you, Tobias, from the developer, for giving us access to that. So what does that mean? Well, that means we can do some cool stuff here. Did I delete the train? Yeah, if you delete the train, it just respawns back here. Nice. So we go over here, and then we do a twister. Woo! A swirl thingy. And it comes in, and look at that. It's so cool. It doesn't do anything, by the way. I mean, it may even just slow down the train a little bit, but it's this one. And then I have very few complaints about this game, but here is one of them. It can't be flipped. It can be rotated, but it can't be flipped. Come on. That is unacceptable. Yes, I'm sure that's an omission. We'll get that. But look at that, because otherwise I would, of course, just flip it so it goes one loop and then goes back. But isn't it awesome? It goes outside the loop and then it comes back on the inside. Let's have a look at what it looks like. Whee! Amazing. Serves no purpose, but that's fun anyway. Then we're going to drag this. This is now depleted. So now I need to make a train station outbound. So we're going to start with a loader. And that's coming here. Ooh, that's going to be a little bit tricky here. Let's make it... Can I make it here? Maybe? And then I make a train station here. And there has to be an empty space here. Otherwise the trains can't go underneath and come back. So that's important. And we go back and then get this continuation. And it just so happens fits exactly with it. So what happens now? Well, the train's coming in. We hope. It's coming in. And then we should see it come in and unload. It'll unload 360 for each. It goes in here. So there's a stacker for 3 of those containerized support. And then it goes in. And then it starts emptying gradually. And it comes out on the belt. And then we're back to generating these points again. And now the train comes in. It's loading again. More stacks here. And if we want to have more trains on this, let's have a look at it coming in again. So now you can see that the one train is certainly not enough to transport, especially when I cut the train tracks here. There we go. It comes in. We are going to need more trains. How does that work? Well, it's pretty simple. We just copy this, add some more trains, like that. Connect, connect. And then you see here there's a little counter. When that is full, then it'll spawn a new train. Or when it sort of cycles back. There we go. We got another train. Picks up stuff. I think 3 trains is probably going to be the right number for this. That will take care of all of this for us on this distance. You kind of have to sort of gauge how much you need for this to keep going. If you have too many, it doesn't really cost you more than this space. But so just add a few more when needed. Cool. So now we know how trains work. There's one more thing that we can do, and that is there's a little bit of control with this. So you can see now there's a red line here and there's no line on that side. If we had other color trains, we could sort of direct them to be going this way or that way. And that's kind of how you can sort of have multiple different trains, up to four different types of trains on the same tracks. For example, there are 4 different basic shapes, so you could take one color for each of the basic shapes. There are 3 different base colors, you could get each of those a color, and then you're going to figure out what you do when you get to color mixing at that point. So that's trains. Now let's actually apply what we have with trains into a new design. I want to do this design here. So that's something with circles and something with squares, and then colors red and blue. Okay, let's see what we can do. I have found a place. If I go look at north, and then I go out here, then I have highlighted some circles and some squares. And we're going to start with the circles and then just go into our design mode. And what I want to do is I want to take one of these and color it blue, and I want the other one to stay as it is. So we now come back to our design that we just did, and that is this one. Oops. And now it's red because this design actually includes the 3rd floor, which we don't have, and then it just doesn't apply the 3rd floor. And there we go. We get that one inbound. There. So that's 8 lanes in. 8 lanes get painted. And then I need some blue paint. So there's 2 ways of getting the blue paint in. We can get it in by train, or we can get it in by truck. Of course, we're going to do a train because, well, we have a train. So I'm going to just smash an unloader right there. It's a little bit close. I could also just smash it here and then just get the last bit of the way in here. I think that's maybe nicer. And then a station. And then one thing that you can't do that's a little bit weird is that you can't drag belts back. Then it turns the direction, which is kind of nice in some cases, but it also means that you kind of have to figure out how it works. And then we get some coloring. That's here. Oops. Let's cut some of that, and these will just be on that line, and then it goes into a design. I think this train should be blue, otherwise I'll go crazy. I unlock the blue train, because otherwise we'll go crazy if we have blue paint on a red train. I think you'll thank me for that. Let's do a fluid loader. That's gonna look like this. Flip it like that, and we're gonna have a train station in front. We're gonna have a locomotive. Let's just do 3. Did we not just say we wanted blue? Yes, we did. And then in and in. And then it needs to just have 1 wagon, which is then be a fluid wagon. There we go. And then I just need tracks from here. So yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, here's an important, look at that. 1164. I built belts, 20. I built rails, didn't affect it. Rails are free. They don't even take platform points, which is a massive boon, which means that train lines, doesn't matter how long they are, you're only paying for the station, which means that if you look at this, how many entities that is, then 11 platforms. So 11 platforms here and 11 platforms here, or basically that, how many is that? Like this, 2 platforms? 2 platforms. What? Oh, this one doesn't even count a platform. Oh, okay. So 11 here plus 2 here, 13 platforms. So if the distance between this and this is less than or more than 13, it's cheaper in terms of platforms to put it on a train. So that thing means everything goes on trains. Awesome. And this one now gets painted. Awesome. And then I'm going to take another one that isn't getting painted. There. So now that is going to be here. What we'll do is we'll then stack the painted one on top of the unpainted one. And they don't need any rotation, so we'll just take a normal stacking block. That's going to be this one, which we've done a million times. And the one that comes in from the side is the one that is on top. A million times is maybe a little bit of an exaggeration, but it does feel like it at this point. Let's go in here and see. Well done. That is totally not what I wanted. Thank you. A million times, and yet I still make the same mistake. Let's do that one. Wouldn't it look nicer if these were like that and that? Ah, there, pull it. That looks better. And then we have here, we have white on top of red. Cool. Then that needs to be split because we need to cut it in half. So we need a cutting block. That is a cut east half. Sure, we'll cut the eastern half of this. There. And then we got that. Yeah, so obviously we could get twice as much, but at this point it really doesn't matter. So we're gonna get a train station. We have to build it again. I think I'm gonna build the train. Oh, actually we don't need to build the train station. We can copy this super easy. It doesn't even cost much, but I'm gonna bring it down, let's say here. And then locomotive, and then a location. We'll make that, let's actually make that blue. We'll just make 3, and it has to be like this. And there's only one lane coming out, so we'll put it in. Yep. And then I need to drag this home. Where's home? Home is here. Oh yeah, another cool thing about trains. They can bounce, and you can hold this and then scroll wheel to make it bounce shorter. That's pretty cool. And then I am simply going to, wow, look at the timing of this. I am going to do a shape unloader, which will be, here we go. We have now built it. I just put it straight in here because there's only one thing coming in, and that's coming out. The trains are going back and forth, but they have not generated enough to actually warrant this one in here. So we now have a train. That makes the first milestone. Trains are coming back with our new stuff here, and as you can see, there's a little bit of a gap, so just adding a few more trains to this would be fine. And if we look over on this side, we should be able to see that yes, something is waiting over here. So if we were just gonna be like really consistent, we would also do like that. Oh, that's not the one. There and there. And we also have a point here, so let's claim that. Level 36, nice. And we get more trains out here. This one is completed. So what is it we want to do next time? Next time we actually need to put it back to the stuff that, oh, look at that. Unlock. Now we actually have to do it a little bit different. So now it's, we would actually need to redo the whole thing, because right now if we look at it, it looks like we would have to, when we have lanes of blue and lanes of white, we would actually have to split them a little bit. So that means, actually I don't think I want this one here. And we're going to be taking this out. The good thing about this is you can easily just take it out and move it away. It doesn't really cost anything, and the trains are just going to be there. So basically what we need to do now is we are, okay, that's brilliant. I could have left that in. That is going to start by getting those colored. So now I'll have this one coming out as colored blue things. Then we would need to split this into one lane. Yes. Okay. I would need to have something we built. Didn't we build it last time? I think we did. I think I built it off camera. So let me just find that. It's here. That one. That's actually surprisingly a useful one. And it goes. Let's see if that works. So what the hell does this one do? This one takes and splits them out, except that this one has to be a little bit different. So now what we're seeing here is that it goes blue over white and white over blue. Cool. So those just need to be stacked, which is also something we can do since they're coming in at the same height. Then we can use the symbol stacker, which we have here. That is that one. That's the symbol stacker and the symbol stacker, which now gives us this one and that one. Right, so now I need to, basically I only want one train. Oh, but I could get 2 trains though. Wouldn't that be awesome to get 2 wagons on the train? Yeah, let's do it with 2 wagons. Just make it a little bit ambitious. So what I need to do now from here is to split this down the middle. So let's see if we have a blueprint for this. It is a cutting block, and we'll have a cut east half. That's the easy one. But don't we have a split side by side? Yeah. So this is getting a lot better now. So what I'm having here is these are now split, and then I need to make sure that I get a rotator. I'm going to look north when I do this, and then say the bottom one is actually correct, but the top one needs to be rotated 180 degrees, which means I need a 180 rotator. There and there, but it's only the bottom level should not be rotating. So it's a little bit of a special case here. There. And then that works. Then let's do the same thing for the other one. Let's see. Here it's the other way around. There is the top level I don't want to rotate. Yes, the top level has been rotated, but it shouldn't have been. There. Yes. And then I do remove. Okay, so now I have the right things here and the right things here. But they are not ready to be put in because I need to switch them back like this. So that now they're here. And then I can stack them on top of each other. I love this. Then they stack. Whoop. There we go. Now they are stacked and they are looking perfect. Plus perfect. And then I just need to put them together, which is also something we have. That is on a... There. Add belts. Yeah. And we get a single belt inbound. That is incredible amount of stuff that we could just do. Look at all of that. And it just does stuff. And we get a train in here, which I'll just zoom that back a little bit. And then all we need to do. There. That should be the next one. Let's see if it works. And if that isn't a good thumbnail, then I don't know what is. That looks absolutely amazing. Look at that. We got the little bit of twisty and the twirly here and all that good stuff. And they're coming in. Whee! And we got that in the background. While we have a really nice and advanced factory up front, which does stuff. And you're sure you could make it much, much smaller. But this one is incredibly easy to make once it gets going. And you can see here that is coming in. And we then need to just see if it is coming into our factory in a correct manner. Yes, it is. It is filling it up. I could also just look at here and say that this needs to get to 3,000, which is amazing. So let's just have that go to 3,000. And this is almost completed the milestone. So why not just get started on the next part? We can always look ahead and say, okay, so now I just want it to be cut in half. I think we have all the stuff in here that we need yeah, well, no, it's not really. Okay, so that's actually, there we go. So that's enough. So we can cut this out here, cut it, and then just, cut it here, and just leave it somewhere else for some time later. And now what we have here is that one. And what do we need to do with the remainder? We need to simply cut it. But here's the thing. It's only the top half that works. The bottom half can't work. So I'm actually going to be just ignoring the top half. So we're actually going to be cutting it out. So I'm going to take U, cut, rotate, Shift F, and that comes in now at that point. So now it comes up here. Then I will be doing a cutter, cutting blocks. That is going to be a cutting side by side. These are cut east half. Why is cut east half such a big one? That seems weird. Oh, there's only 4 lane. Okay. Okay, it's not that big. This one. Cut east half. Isn't that exactly what I want? Well, east is that one. So it cuts everything so it's only the east and left. Okay, well, that's not what I wanted. I want it here. And that means I am going to cut out... See, I just put this one in so that I can... read what it said. This is, so I'm getting the eastern half, so I need to rotate it so the eastern half is the stuff that I want, which means rotating it clockwise, I think. And if I look at it with facing north, I'm just gonna de-rotate back. I know some people will have an aversion towards me insisting that I want it to be, when facing north, the right direction, but soon I'm going to stack it on top of something else, so this is just easier for me to handle. And then I can take my good old friend in here. There we go. That comes in, and there. That is the next one. But that needs 4,000 as well. So that's going to take a little bit of time to get 4,000, but we have the luxury of looking at the next one, because that means we need to have the same square here, and then take it as well on a with a white on red. And that's just basically what we started out building, so that's kind of super simple, and I already built that here. That was super simple. And we get that half in here. Just cut half of it and we have it ready. So this one, again, when looking at north, I also have to rotate it again so that it is rotated so it matches. There we go. That is now on the lower half. And then this one just needs to go into a train, which I can then take a loading. Oh no. Well, that's not going to be fast then. Here. And I'll keep that as a red train. I'll be flipping and then rotating like this, and then taking these ones out and replacing them with red trains. There. Did that still not work down here? No, it's still fine. Okay, so they are being loaded, and then we get the red trains, and then eventually that will go down here somewhere, and then it'll be merged with this one, which we can easily do, and it doesn't matter. We can actually stack it. Oh, that's going to be so cool. Let's have a unloader station. That's going to be... Oh, that's a... we have an unloading station down here, which is very simple. Good thing I copied it then. And then I flip it. Flip. And then I think I need to put it right there. And then... actually, that's okay to put it here. It's probably easier. And then I'll just... When it comes down to it, stacking block is this one. Which will then say... Put right there. And then everything else will be exactly the same. We're almost at the next milestone, and we'll just hurry up and take this out. I mean, not that I need to hurry up, but it just feels good to be efficient. That is a painter, so that's not what I wanted. I want that one. Swap. There. And get it inbound, and that gets inbound. Let's take this out just so we see what we're getting out. Does that look correct? Yes. Blue over white, white over blue, white over blue, and the lower half. So that's also good. Then I just put it in here because I know we have enough. Oh, it was 4,000. Oh, ooh, am I? No, I'm a little bit uncertain whether I have enough. There's something here. Maybe I switched a little bit too early. Yeah. Well, no, that's fine. This is half a block, and there's only like 200 left. So no, this is perfect. Perfect switch. Right. So this one is ongoing. I don't know what happens when you have something that's mixed. I guess we'll find out. Now we're just adding weird stuff to it. There we go. We'll click here and 2 more points. And then we get the next one, which gives us 4 points. And we're already building it. Oh, look at that. It just kind of ignored the other one. Oh, interesting. So if you're sending mixed things in, you might just lose what you have. Don't know, or maybe it sort of keeps it in the back, or I don't know. That's interesting. Now we learned something new. Well, we didn't learn anything. We just realized that there's something weird. Now we're picking the last load up here, and that means we will definitely have enough back home. So it's time for us to cut this one and figure out what we need for the next milestone. There we go. Unlock. And then here's the interesting thing. The right-hand side is the same, but the left-hand side is not the same. The left-hand side is not just rotated, it's actually flipped. These two are flipped, they're not rotated. So it's not like I can cut down the middle and then rotate it. It's cut down the middle and flip these two and then put it back together. So we need to cut the middle, flip the two on the left, and put it back together. All right. So the first thing we want to do is this one. I'll spend the time on this. So basically what I needed to do was just get the same shape here. This is still the same shape we had. And then what I need to do now is split it down the middle so that we get these blocks. That is something we definitely have. Cutting. So it's not about sort of cutting the half. I need to split it down there. Cut eastern, split side by side, which is cool. But it only takes 4 lanes in because it has 8 lanes out. So that's the tricky part about it. So I need to do this one and this one, and then we do the stacker here, which is just flip, yeah, and right. So this one splits the top in here and the bottom in here, but all at the ground level. Then each of these will split. They will split them correctly? Yes. Okay, so this is the one that we need to rotate and flip and then get back to. Okay, so how do we... I know we have here under swapping, I have one that if it's only like this, then it's swap lower corners. That's perfect. That one, swap corners. We can take a look at what it does or what it looks like here. But it only works, and this is like super important about these blueprints. If you look at it, this one doesn't have anything at the top. While this one is swapping corners. It's a generic, this is swapping corners, but only for half tiles. Really important distinction. So this one has to make sure that it's only like this, and bottom corners must be bottom when it's going up. Let's just have a look at what happens if I just send it in like this. Then it's probably not coming out as something valuable. No, it's not even coming out, so that's definitely not it. So I need to rotate it. And then... do I rotate it? Hold on, let's see. No, it's the other way around. So it's there, that one. Yay, we got it. So this one is now correct, but it just needs to be rotated one clockwise. So that's one clockwise rotation for you. There. And then it comes out as the right hand side of the final product. This one is still the... this needs to be rotated. Oh, what? Oh, right, I'm an idiot. Ha! This one. I need this, and I need to save it as well. Because the other one I had was splitting top, bottom, and left, right. But the one I need is only split top to bottom. There. Does that work? I'm gonna take you out just to see what I get. Yes. So it collects all these, and this one collects all of that. Perfect. Is it though? Cut and then flip. What does it look like now? Yes, that's better. Because I want that on top. And then I wanted the rotate counterclockwise. Here. And we just look all the way towards this one. And it calculates. That is correct. And over on this side. That is correct. And then they just need to be patched together. And that is done by one of these. Which one has to go on top? Doesn't matter. They're all good. So here it would actually be nice if they came in from each side. But I keep it... No, that doesn't make any sense. I can do it like this. Yeah. And then we just take that. Put it here. That should work. Let me just take this out and see what is coming out here. That is exactly the shape we're looking for. Put that in. Wow. There will be a little bit of running through all of this, and they are coming in at full saturation. There's of course something stacked up here. This is all stacked, and it just absolutely flows. Let's just have a look at this factory we built here now. So we mine this stuff, we get some blue color in, we take the blue and the white and we mix it, then we stamp it down on top of each other, then we cut half of it, then we rotate half of it, then we split them up, then we smash them together again, then we get back on to one line, then we rotate in order to... That's interesting. How many times? Oh yeah, cut half, then we rotate. Then we consolidate it with the other part, get in here, and then we split it out so that we can... Why is there nothing on the top? Why is it jammed? There, press I, then it removes it. So now it just resets so they come in at the same pace, because maybe I was consuming more of one. Oh yeah, this one's also a little bit weird, right? It could be the fact that there's a way longer transportation time this way around. Let's keep that in mind to see if that's impactful. But anyway, these are splitting side by side, and then that gets mixed up here so that the one half goes here and the other half goes here. And then we do an operation on one half to flip the two ingredients, and then we rotate it back. Rotate back, and then we consolidate it in here. And that's our happy train. I can just do. I made a small change to this just to make it flow a little bit better, because there was a difference in how much time it took to go through the long way and the short way. Now it's a little bit closer, and it also just looks a little bit neater. I could also just for sense of it not have it here, but I kind of like the fact that it's now pointing towards the station. I could also just lead it further out. But this is basically the factory we built today. There's a little bit over here as well, but I really like the fact that we just, in this progression, we are now, that was 12 more points. I got to 61. So let's come up with good ideas what I should be focusing on that. I could either do the third floor, I could get the train vortex, or I could save up for some upgrades on belts, cutting, stacking, and painting. They have to be done at the same time. That's 72. Because otherwise they will be misaligned and you won't get the benefit anyway. So, like, I think that based on this, I found out a couple of things. First of all, trains are awesome. They look amazing and they perform really well. They just transport things really quickly. And this is just like trains with one wagon. We're definitely going to be building bigger trains. But what I've also discovered is that I actually really enjoy working with like fixed shapes. So instead of having to go out and find some random shape that almost reminds me of what I need, like this of course is a good shape, for example, but then I go like, oh, can I use this? Well, I'd have to cut that corner out and stuff like that. But if I just work on these shapes, yeah, sure, I might need a little bit more rotating and fixing and swapping and stuff like that. But it's all those modules we have instead of trying to figure out anything else. So I think I really like this, and this is something I want to work on in the future. Basically trying to build something generic so that we can focus on the factory building and have the trains come in with all the stuff that we need without using logic. We're not at the point where we start building circuit networks and all that stuff. That's going to come much later. But we need a train network that isn't just, oh, go from A to B and then from A to B and then again from A to B. But something better. Maybe it's not going to be the next episode, but it's going to be shortly. We'll try some things, and I have some ideas and that I'd like to try and implement. But for now, I hope that you got a nice look into how awesome the trains are and what they can do, because damn, they make it easy and they save so much on the platform units, so we can spend more platform units on cool factories and less on infrastructure to move things between factories. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, if you want to get hold of these blueprints, this is a perk that I have reserved for patron supporters, because patron supporters are absolutely amazing and they support me and they support me monetarily in the work I do here. So I want to give something back, and that's save games and blueprints. If not, well, you can, all these are just pause and build, and you can design it yourself if you want. It's also very welcome to make better designs and share them on my Discord. We have a Sheeps 2 channel, and there have been some really cool exchanges of nice designs and sort of inspiring each other to improve. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care, and as always, stay effective.